often accused of emotional investing. Earlier, I sat down with Rosemary Stephenson from Alexander Forbes to find out why she doesn't believe that this is necessarily a bad thing.
Okay, I think as women we multitask quite easily, and obviously emotions affect our behavior. It's all dependent on our belief system. So what happens is, markets will go up and down, that happens. Our emotions go up and down with the markets, but we can affect our emotions. We can manage our emotions and balance them to make sure that we don't overlook objective data if we get too emotional.
So why would emotional investing be a good thing overall?
Emotional investing is a good thing because we're driven by emotions, and what we need to understand that everything we do in life is based on how we feel about things and how we feel about money. And with investing, we're driven by fear and greed. Okay, so when the markets are up and we're feeling euphoric and things become too expensive, what happens? Our greed jumps out and we want to buy more. And in fact, we should be fearful when others are greedy. And then when the markets go down and we lose in 30–40%, we become fearful. And it's not about time, it's also just about patience. We're not patient. So then we get so fearful that we become panic-stricken that we sell. So what we've actually done is we've invested money, and just over a period of a year or two, we've lost money based on our emotions that we weren't able to balance.
So would you then be suggesting that women would be better investors because we're more in tune with our emotions?
Yes, women by and large, women and men complement each other very well, in that men are more driven by greed because of the testosterone, women are more driven by fear. So therefore sometimes women, they lack maybe the confidence of men, so they tend to sit in a lot of cash. Now there's nothing wrong with cash, but over the long period of time, inflation, takes care of cash. So we actually need to take on more risk. Whereas men, because they're a bit more greedy, they will get stuck in the hole, and because they're driven more by greed, because the first rule for men is they like to beat the other guy. Second rule for men is they like to tell the other guy, I've beaten you.
Yeah.
So when you get into a hole, women, instead of digging themselves further, they tend to jump out, because women don't like to lose money. First rule for women is we don't lose money. So therefore, we hope that things will always improve. So we tend to be too cautious. So we actually complement each other, men and women, when it comes to investing.
So if you're a woman and you want to make sure that you're well-rounded in terms of your investment portfolio, which emotions should you then be working on and making sure that you develop them and you fine-tune them so that they work for your investment strategy?
I think patience. Patience is very important because of the lack of patience and the overriding fear or greed, we tend to make the wrong decisions. So with that comes the decision to say go for asset allocation, so that will prevent us from being too greedy, because all investments are cyclical. So as one goes up, the other goes down. So it's good to be diversified. So instead of putting all your eggs into one basket, we actually diversify. So therefore we do not have that temptation of wanting to put 100% into one asset class when it's performing.
And what would you advise then for a first-time investor, a woman in particular, who wants to perhaps play it safe, but wants to see some sort of return in the medium to long term?
Okay, I'd say for a first-time investor, obviously you would only have a little bit of money, so you don't want to time the market. It's actually not about performance. Performance is there, but what's important is achieving your objective. So we need to have some goals. So you have a mid-investment objective, and then obviously retirement would be a long-term objective. So if it's a first-time investor, you would be saving maybe for some kind of education, childcare, whatever. So you would go into some kind of balanced portfolio with a bit of asset allocation, and then just invest what you can every month. And then just stay in the market and don't let your emotions make you jump out of the market because you're getting fearful.
Would you advise the same to a man who is making his foray into investing?
Well, generally, a man should do the same thing because we all need to meet our objectives. So men are also driven by emotions. It's just that they may be more overconfident, and overconfidence and fear actually breed the same end result, which is not very good. So yes, I must probably say you should do the same.
Every week we bring you a woman who is flexing her power muscles on the global stage. Let's take a look at Barclays Africa Group CEO Maria Ramos. Ranked as the 93rd most powerful woman in the world, Maria Ramos is the chief executive at Barclays Africa Group, with the responsibility of executing the group's Africa strategy across 13 African operations. She is easily one of the most powerful bankers on the continent. Ramos is not new to the C-suite, having served as the group chief executive at Transnet, the state-owned freight transport and logistics service provider of South Africa, for 5 years. This was after successfully serving as Director General of the National Treasury for 7 years. An accomplished academic who has taught at various institutions, Ramos holds multiple degrees and is also a recipient of 2 honorary doctorates. Her contribution across industries has been recognized through numerous awards. She was named CNBC Africa's Woman Leader of the Year in 2011, amongst others. That's all from Women on Wealth this week. Be sure to pick up a copy of this Sunday's City Press to find out about another winning woman, the founder and managing director of 274 Investment Managers, Fatima Vadwa. Remember that we do like talking to you on Twitter, so keep following me at Nozipho Mbanjwa. And don't forget that our hashtag is Wow410. We would like to know who is redefining the concept of power in your world. Until next time, stay empowered.